No one ever reported him missing.
That was the strange part.
When the house stopped changing, people noticed, but by then there was no one left to ask questions about Wyatt had ever changed at all.
The neighborhood sat at the edge of a growing town.
One of those developments built all at once and aged unevenly. Identical mailboxes, driveways just wide enough for 2 cars, lawns trimmed by habit rather than pride. The houses weren't old, but they felt settled, as if they had already decided how much life they intended to hold.
Aaron lived in the middle one. He moved in alone 3 years earlier, shortly after the divorce.
No kids, no pets,
No visible clutter.
the kind of man people registered only after seeing him repeatedly, in the same places at the same times.
He waved when spoken to, nodded when passed.
Never lingered.
That consistency made him invisible. Every morning at 6:12, Aaron left for work.
Every evening at 5:41, he returned.
Groceries on Tuesdays. Trash out Thursday nights. Porch light on at dusk.
Off at 11.
The house turned him quickly. You're listening to CHF Cinematic Horror Files, stories hidden in the dark. These are stories taken from the quiet corners of America,
Where ordinary lives drift just far enough of course to disappear.
they're told slowly, without spectacle, and without easy answers. If you're drawn to stories like this, subscribe to the channel. And if anything you hear tonight reminds you of a place you stayed too long, leave a comment.
Some stories don't end when the door closes. They wait. At first, nothing seemed wrong. The living room looked normal through the windows, couch, lamp, coffee table, the glow of a television that never turned on. The bedroom light went dark at the same time each night. The neighbors assumed he slept well.
It wasn't until Mrs. Calder next door noticed the fence line that anything felt off.
The gap between their houses had narrowed. Not dramatically. Not enough to suggest construction. Just enough that her rosebush no longer fit where it had the year before. She blamed the soil.
Aaron noticed it too, eventually.
The hallway from his front door to the kitchen felt shorter. The steps from couch to window required one less stride than before.
He tested it once, pacing back and forth with quiet
concentration. The house didn't react. That should have reassured him. It didn't. Aaron had always been careful about space.
He arranged his furniture with intention. Left rooms unused if they weren't necessary. Closed doors to areas he didn't need.
He told himself it was efficiency.
When the guest room began to feel redundant, he stopped opening it altogether.
The house accepted this.
At work, Aaron processed municipal requests, property records,
Utility usage.
long-term occupancy files. He knew how buildings behaved when neglected. He knew how people left traces. His house was doing the opposite.
The air inside felt curated.
Sound dampened itself. Footsteps didn't echo the way they should have.
The walls felt closer, but never oppressive, accommodating. One evening,
Aaron sat at the kitchen table and realized he hadn't used the living room in weeks.
the thought didn't disturb him. It felt accurate. He moved the table closer to the wall without meaning to. The house adjusted overnight. Neighbors began to comment on how quiet his place was.
No deliveries.
No visitors, no noise. Aaron stopped receiving mail. He didn't open immediately. He slept better. That mattered more than it should have. When winter came, the unused rooms grew cold first. He closed them off one by one. Not consciously. Just naturally. The house did not protest. By spring, Aaron occupied 3 rooms. By summer, 2.
His footprint shrank. His routines tightened.
He took shorter showers. Ate simpler meals. Sat in the same chair every night, perfectly aligned with the wall behind it.
The indentation formed slowly. Aaron noticed it and adjusted his posture to match. At work, he began pulling records without realizing why.
Old cases.
Addresses that no longer matched their original dimensions. Houses sold cheaply.
Homes described as efficient or surprisingly comfortable.
All single occupants.
All long-term. All quiet departures. He didn't report his findings.
He didn't need to.
The house was already ahead of him.
When Mrs. Calder knocked one afternoon to return a misdelivered package,
Aaron didn't answer. He was home. He simply didn't hear her.
sound didn't travel the same way anymore.
Weeks passed.
The porch light stayed on. The utilities ran low but steady. His car never moved. When the city finally sent someone to check, they found the front door unlocked. Inside, the house was clean.
Not empty. Just finished.
The rooms flowed into one another seamlessly now.
No wasted space. No excess air. The furniture fit as if it had been designed.
For the walls rather than placed against them.
There was no sign of struggle. No note, no body. Only a faint impression.
Along the wall where a person had once sat for a very long time.
Without shifting. The file listed Aaron as relocated. No one corrected it.
The house sold quickly.
The new owner described it as perfect. Just enough room.